Carnage just abandoned Eddie Brock and bonded with Torment, which means the most dangerous serial killer in New York now has a symbiote and Eddie Brock is dying without one. But to understand how we got here, you need to know that everything fell apart the moment Carnage proposed. Because in Amazing Spider-Man number 25, Carnage doesn't want to kill Torment, he wants to marry him. He literally presents Spider-Man and Venom to Torment like a dowry and says, "I need a willing host, and something tells me we would be a match made in hell." And Torment is open to it, but he has rules. The spirals must always be honored. Discretion is key. The pain must drown out the scream until silence. And Carnage agrees to all of it. But what Carnage didn't count on is the sonic blast from the Shocker's gauntlets waking Eddie Brock up. Because Eddie seizes control of Carnage and sends Torment flying into a wall and says, "I hated my father, but he deserved better than that." And Torment escapes. But now, Spider-Man and Venom demand answers, and Eddie explains everything. Torment kills in a spiral. He starts with the outermost family members and tightens inward toward the primary target. And Peter and MJ realize their aunts are in danger. So MJ calls Flash Thompson as anti-Venom to protect them. But then Peter tracks the Shocker gauntlets, and the signal isn't heading to Queens, it's heading to MJ's apartment in Manhattan. And Eddie's face drops because he realizes Torment is going after Dylan Brock. And when we cut to that apartment, Dylan is ripping into Paul Rabin, telling him he's a simp, a try-hard top-knot, saying, "I don't care about you enough to hate you." And then Torment is standing in the doorway saying, "Dylan Brock, I just killed your grandfather. Now I'm here to kill you for the spiral." And Dylan slams the door and calls for Paul, who comes running out with a knife. And when Torment fires the gauntlet, Paul stabs the capacitor with the knife and shorts it out and tells Dylan to run. But Torment catches Paul and stabs him through the stomach. But as Torment goes to finish Dylan off, Paul stands up bleeding out and says, "I would die for that kid." And Spider-Man and Venom and Carnage crash through the wall just in time to stop the killing blow. But it doesn't matter because Paul is already gone. His last words are, "I don't matter. I never matter." And Dylan is in the sewers crying into Venom's arms saying, "I messed up so bad." And Spider-Man webs up the gauntlets and tells Eddie they take Torment alive. And Eddie agrees, but Carnage doesn't. Because Carnage rips himself off Eddie's body and says, "You honestly didn't think I would let you finish that sentence when you know how badly I need to kill." And he latches on to Torment and says, "I think this is the start of a beautiful friendship." And now Eddie is hostless and dying. Torment has Carnage, and the death spiral just became something nobody can stop.